I was sure happy to hear about your hike. So,
It was extraordinary.
so 85 miles.
Probably more like 100.
Okay.
But the goal was 85.
Holy
So-
smokes.
Yeah.
So, and where were you when you did this?
We started in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, which is the French starting place in the Pyrenees for the French Way, which is the Camino de Santiago, called the French Way.
Wow.
And it starts in the Pyrenees.
How did you get turned on to this hike?
The Camino has been going on since the 9th century.
Mm-hmm.
People have been doing this spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
And when people first started doing this, it was for penitential reasons and because they were doing a walk for some sort of faith reasons. And I myself have been on the northern route before by car.
Okay.
Back in 1959.
Okay.
It was my final test of my undergraduate degree. I graduated in Spanish literature. So I always thought I have already done this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a year ago, I thought, I think I have one more long hike in me. Where do I want to go? And my daughter said, why don't we go to Santiago and hike the Camino?
Oh my gosh. That is
So
cool.
I thought, well, okay. And so I thought, I think I'd like to do that. And then they said that I found a person on the internet by going to a Camino Facebook page and said that I would like help planning my trip.
Yeah.
And within 24 hours, this woman came on, and her brother was the person I knew already. His name was Rocky. His name was Sandy Brown, and he used to be the head of the church council of Greater Seattle.
Huh.
And we had known each other through our justice work.
Yeah.
So he interviewed the four of us and asked us why we wanted to walk the Camino.
Mm-hmm.
What was our goal?
Mm-hmm.
And I was the last one to speak, and I was glad of that because the first person to speak was my daughter's husband. His name is John Elizondo,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a town in Spain just 11 miles from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port
Yeah.
named Elizondo.
Okay.
And he doesn't know anything about his heritage. He grew up in the Philippines, and he's Mexican background,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know. And he said, I think I might be Basque, but I want to go and I want to smell the air, taste the food, feel the ground under my feet,
Yeah.
experience the mountains.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to go with him. I want to be with him when he is discovering his soul connection
Yeah.
to the Pyrenees.
Wow.
It seemed like just such a wonderful, wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. My daughter rented a car, and we went to Elizondo and spent the day there.
Mm-hmm.
Wandered around the town and
Mm-hmm.
talked to people. And he said, I'm Elizondo. The mayor has come back.
So how challenging was it?
Because I hike every day in the Cascades,
Mm-hmm.
every week in the Cascades, I found there was nothing harder than what I normally do.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, but 100 miles also adds up just in distance.
Yes. Yes. Right. And I didn't have any trouble.
Wow.
Ever.
That's amazing.
I had the stamina for it. And I don't know if you got this on any of the stories, but my suitcase never arrived.
Oh no.
I did this entire hike with the clothes I had on my back, plus one extra set
Oh my god.
that I bought.
Wow.
So my Hokas were the only shoes I ever had. Luckily, I had my first aid kit in my backpack,
Huh.
but I had to buy hiking sticks and a hat.
Yeah.
And I also had this umbrella hat that sticks out 36 inches
Wow.
that I wore on my head
Yeah.
to keep the sun off of me.
Oh my my gosh.
So, I was sure I was going to die if I didn't have my supplements every day, but turns out I didn't.
Yeah. Well, you're taking Shaklee's a good brand, so you can't go wrong with that.
It's good. I think when you really have optimal health and strong, you could probably go quite a long time in deprivation.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah.
Apparently you can go 100 miles.
Yeah. And you mentioned the xgym helped you do this without pain or suffering. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of downhill. There are 2 mountain passes and a lot of downhill. And because of the way you guys trained me, my legs were so strong that I could do the downhill without any injury to my knees, which was just fabulous.
Wow.
And I mean, I just had not only core strength, but arm strength.
Yeah.
So that I use my poles a lot to keep the stress off my legs and my ankles. And they're just the way we rotate the 14 sessions and then on to the next 14 sessions, it just is this overall strength that it's not. So just hiking or just doing push-ups isn't an overall strength that I think really is what made it so. I just didn't have any pain.
Wow,
the whole time.
That is amazing, and it's interesting you point out the downhill because that is the high impact movements where joints definitely feel going up. You can go up stuff and the joints are fine, but once you start going down, that's where there's issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing about the xgym. You never finish the 2 to 3 minute workout without saying, you got one more bit. Come on, keep going, just one more bit.
Yeah.
The kind of thing that you cannot do for yourself.
Yeah.
That just stayed with me.
Wow.
It's there. It's that kind of, it's just a little further. Just to keep going, just a little further, and you can make it.
So you had the mental toughness too.
It's a mental toughness. It is. The not giving up. Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been beautiful. The scenery must have been breathtaking.
This is going to sound so arrogant, Northwest. Our scenery is the best.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're right.
But so the thing that's really wonderful is going through the villages and seeing the ancient churches. And we started we took a train to Leon and then started our next 4 or 5 days at a place called the Hospital de Obriego, and that was a former hospital to treat pilgrims who were suffering along the way.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a 8-curved Roman bridge that you cross. And today they reenact some of the battles that took place there. Charlemagne was there. The Renaissance, when was Charlemagne? 11th century, the 11th century knight who sang ballads to the ladies in distress. So we saw crosses to him. And we went over Napoleon's Pass in the Pyrenees, the one that Napoleon went over.
Wow.
So there's all this history. There's history everywhere. One of the villages that had fallen into a ghost town came back to life a few years ago, and there's a Benedictine monastery there, and we all went to the evening service.
Oh my gosh!
And there were three monks singing, and they had service leaflets for all of us in French, German, Spanish, English.
Wow!
And so we joined in and sang everything.
Wow!
So it's gone. There's a revival in the last 15 years. Martin Sheen, of course, the movie he made called The Way, got a lot of people thinking about the Camino. But about 100,000 people walk it every year, and this year would probably be in 200,000 people.
Wow! What supplements are you taking for brain health?
There's a supplement Shaklee makes called MindWorks, which is a single cell single molecule, and actually gets into the mitochondria, and it's been revolutionary for people. I have quite a few customers who are taking it because it improves their short-term memory a great deal.
Wow.
Very, very good for that. Yeah. So it's a good product.
Yeah. Good.
So, yeah.
And you also eat well and you stay hydrated.
Yes. So that was another thing I didn't have my hydration. You know, I usually take lots of electrolytes. We make really good electrolytes, but I just had to be really careful and make sure I had lots of juices and things like that. It's very hard to get vegetables when you're traveling.
Oh, really?
You see them in people's gardens, but they're not on the menu. Spain is a meat-eating country.
I know that you really value the neurological benefits of xgym training, you know, with all the nerve training, heavy nerve training. And the top 5 things for the brain is getting oxygen to it, which is why exercise is number 1.
Right.
Number 2 is nutrition, which you're also really good at, plus the really clean supplements from Shackley that you do.
Right.
Number 3 is quality sleep. So,
yes.
Yeah, and I know that you emphasize that, and you put a lot of effort into getting good quality sleep. Number 4 is learning, which you are a lifelong learner. You love learning stuff, constantly.
I do. Constantly.
And number 5 is deep relationships with people. And it sounds like with the mob at your 85th birthday, it sounds like you got that covered too.
Yes, I do. It was really, there was so much love in that space. I'm telling you. One of them, my former housemates, is a photographer, and I asked him to come and take pictures. He did a group photo. I turned around and looked at these people behind me, and I just thanked them all for being in my life because they give me so much joy. You know, I've had 2 husbands, and as a result of that, I have 17 grandchildren. It's just, and all their extra people in their lives, and my own daughters, and anyway, it's extraordinary. I am so blessed.
Yeah. Wow.
So blessed.
Wow. That's so great.
So loved. It's just, it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Well,
and the 4th person on this trip was a cousin of mine that I had only met once before. At one point I said, Katie, how would you like to go on the Camino with us? And she said, yes, I would love to.
Oh my gosh. And what's her age?
Only 51, so she's younger. And my daughter Grace is 61.
Yeah.
And her husband's 60, so it was this big spread.
Yeah.
But Katie is a member of an outfit called the Society for Creative Anachronism. So she has an alter ego with her husband in the Middle Ages.
Huh.
And seeing museums and going to all these churches that were built, these buildings that were built in the Middle Ages.
Yeah. With
her at my side.
Yeah.
Intensified my experience of the history. It made it come so alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in ancient buildings before, but never with a person at my side who lives in that on the weekends.
Yeah.
Puts on those clothes. Yeah. And has an alternate name, and goes out and does fencing and swordplay.
Yeah, wow. That's
so that
really
was,
cool.
The whole experience was so rich.
Yeah.
Historically as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But truly, my physical capacity was just, it wasn't unexpected, but it was a joy.
Yeah. And you were able to get more joy out of it because you weren't distracted by the pain. Exactly.
Yeah. I had such a wonderful time putting my sticks one in front of the other. I never listened to a podcast. I was just in the present all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Just in the present. It was
so good.
It was a walking meditation for 100 miles. It really was.
Wow, so good.
And I think the spiritual transformation for me went in multiple layers, but it was letting go of attachment.
Yeah.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
My suitcase didn't come. My vitamins didn't come.
Yeah.
My sandals didn't come. My pretty clothes that I bought to wear in the evenings in the restaurants didn't come.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So it was a lesson in detachment. You really don't need anything.
You're right. Yeah.
You don't. You don't need anything. You're hot and sweaty, so you need one other set of clothes.
Yeah.
So you can wash one of them every day.
Right.
But I wore the same clothes every single day.
Wow.
I just washed them when I got to the hotel. I just washed them,
Yeah.
put on my second set for the evening, and then put on my hiking clothes the next day.
Well, what a life lesson, about that we really don't need stuff.
We don't. We do not need stuff.
And now that you and I are in middle age, I have realized that the important thing, the important stuff about life is relationships and memories.
Yes.
That's where it's at. And that's where true wealth, that's where you find true wealth is rich memories and rich relationships. That's how you're truly wealthy.
It's truly, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a lot of relationships. We made a lot of memories on this one.
Yeah, so good. Wow, that's amazing.
It was good. The last day, I just had to add this little postscript.
Yeah.
We were in Finisterre, which is the so-called end of the world, but we hadn't quite gotten to the lighthouse yet, and it's 97 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh.
So we waited until it was almost dark.
Yeah.
And then Grace read her GPS and it said 9 minutes. Well, she didn't realize that was the car length. It was actually three miles.
Uh-huh.
So none of us had water. I did have my hiking sticks, thank God.
Yeah.
And we walked all the way to the end where the milepost said 0,000, and the moon was streaming its golden beam right down the water towards us.
Oh my gosh.
And, it was 11 o'clock at night when we got there.
Oh my gosh. That's
and that
amazing.
That really felt like the accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santiago
was good.
Money can't buy experiences like that.
No. It was extraordinary.
Wow.
Yeah. And we managed to find a taxi, and he came and took us back to the hotel.
Yeah.
We didn't want to walk back in the dark. It would have been a little scary.
Right.
But it was truly wonderful. And that was John's goal. He wanted to go to the end of the earth.
Yeah. That's so amazing.
Back in the day, they thought there were dragons out there. The Flat Earth Society was real.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so it was wonderful.
Thank you so much for this. What a blast to hear this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Love it. Yeah.
Thanks for this. Thanks for giving me a chance to tell it.
Of course, yeah. And it's just so inspiring to see somebody really knowing how to enjoy life and knowing what quality of life means and how important that is. And you're just the best testament I know or I've even heard of for all of that.
Thank you.
So that's why you're such a hero. All my trainers are just like, I can't wait to train Betsy. You're just the hero of everybody.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
And you still have the record for the air chair.
Really?
You do, yes. 4 minute sitting in the air in a deep squat. No one's beat it, no matter what the age or gender.
That's hilarious.
You're a legend.
What's my number?
4 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. And I did my little exercises every day.
That's great.
All my Tai Chi stuff. Yeah. It's really good. So
good.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I owe you a huge debt of gratitude.
Well, thank you.
Okay. See ya.
Thanks again. All right. See you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.